I think we have to look at stress levels as a country. And I don't think that's any new thing. I think there's always been some level of stress and fear. But our country really tends to dwell in it. I think everybody is operating at a maximum load of stress these days, no matter how much money or how little money you're making. Everybody is stressed, and when we stay in a extreme state of fight-flight, cortisol is being pumped through the body, and cortisol is just basically the death hormone. Once it's there for prolonged periods of time, things like obesity, type 2 diabetes, a catabolic state where your body is basically eating off its own muscle tissue, on and on. There's a dozen other issues that can arise, cancers, heart disease, from prolonged cortisol. So stress is massive. I think there is a lack of education on the subject of nutrition. I don't think, in my experience, I've seen a lot of people that really do understand that something like a chicken McNugget is processed foods, and because it's advertised as white meat chicken doesn't necessarily make it a healthy choice. And I'm not belittling anybody. I think Big Food, once again, has done a great job of indoctrinating people as to thinking that, something like a diet soda is healthy for you, when we know science has proven that diet sodas will lead to extreme weight gain. So education is huge. We just don't have it in the schools anymore. Kids don't come up with it. Of course, in the schools, the kids are eating pizzas and hot dogs and hamburgers and French fries, and anything that we think that they'll eat, we'll give to them, and we just aren't educating them young enough. And by the time we make it into our 20s, we've got an idea about nutrition that just isn't true. I think another issue that a lot of people don't understand is that there's huge government subsidies for farmers to grow corn, so that we can make massive amounts of high fructose corn syrup to put in all our foods, all the food supply. Now, because farmers are so dedicated to producing so much corn to make sugar, they're not spending a lot of time or giving a lot of farm property over to growing other vegetables, curvaceous vegetables such as cauliflower, cucumbers, tomatoes, broccoli, all these things that the body needs. We need these nutrients. So once again, because there's not as much of these vegetables being grown, the price is higher. So I know it's just the wife and I, and we spend well over $200 a week on groceries, and are probably doing better than most people. Now, I couldn't imagine if I had 2 children to feed on top of that. It would be $300-400 a week to feed them the kind of quality, nutrient-dense foods that I would want my family to eat. So, once again, a huge issue. Lastly, America has become incredibly sedentary. We don't have agricultural jobs anymore. We don't have labor. We don't make things anymore. People don't work on a daily basis for the most part. Most people are sitting at a desk in front of a computer terminal all day, and there just isn't movement. So there's nothing to burn calories. At the same time, the body is starting to break down, and when we do exercise, we're probably overweight at the same time. And another vicious cycle starts where there's injury, and now I can't exercise. So daily activity or daily caloric expenditure is very little. You have to think, think of Europe. When I was there not long ago, was it rare to see somebody walking from the grocery store with a day's groceries, walking home, walking here and there. They walk quite a bit. We don't have to expend maybe 3 or 4 calories to get 10,000 calories. I could spend $10 and 10 calories by dialing the phone and ordering 10,000 calories from Domino's and it's delivered to my doorstep. So we have to look at all of these issues, and there's more than that. But for sake of this long video, I won't get into it right now. But we can just take those issues that I just examined, and you can see how hard it is, or how easy it is, to be a part of America's obesity epidemic. People have to remember that in the next 12 years or so, we're looking at a population that is 50% obese. 50% obese. Really hard to wrap your head around. But it starts with educating ourselves. It starts with looking at our lives and becoming conscious of our choices, and conscious of how big food and our own government is treating this epidemic. And we have to look at it, examine it, and choose to not be a part of it. And it starts with every one of us examining the choices that we're making on a daily basis. Thank you.